Hey beautiful people, it is your girl Ashmi. If you are new to this channel, thank you for joining me, and please kindly subscribe to become part of this family and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. And if you are a returnee, welcome back. Bye. I see you, girl or guy, and thank you for the support. It really means a lot. So as some of you may know, this week I started with my community service as a professional nurse. So it was very overwhelming. I was so anxious. I remember the day before my first day of work, I could not sleep. I woke up at 1, I woke up at 3 a.m, I woke up at 5. Like, I could just not sleep. I was going to the bathroom the whole time, but I made it through the first day and the second and the fourth and the fifth. So it has been good. So we had a 4-day orientation, right? So these 4 days we had like a schedule where from 7:30 till 4 o'clock we had like things to do, like a full day, a day full of activities. And these activities are not like the normal activities where you go and do something. No, you sit the whole time in a conference room and listen to people speaking. So the first day, this is the program that we had. So the first day, registration, right, where we basically introduce ourselves. There was 9 new professional nurses from the same university. Like, I was with people that I knew, so that also made things a bit easy because these are people that I'm familiar with. I know them, so it really made me feel like at ease. So basically, first day it was registration, introductions, hopes and fears. So basically we just told them what we were hoping for, being in the new setting, being like a professional nurse, no longer student, and what our fears were. And obviously our fears would be like taking on a responsibility of not only taking care of the mother but also caring for the kid. You're taking care of 2 people at the same time, since we are working in a maternity hospital. And then we're also addressed by the CEO of the hospital and the head of nursing at the hospital. And they basically, I feel like everyone was just welcoming. Well, I don't feel like, I know everyone was just welcoming. Everyone had a smile, and it really made it feel like home, since we're not familiar with the people. Like, they made us feel at ease, and they were like, we got you. If you need help, we are here to help you guys. If you want to talk, you can just call and you can talk to us. And then the first day they told us about like our working hours, like how we're going to be working, our job description, like what are we supposed to do being a new professional nurse, like what your job entails. And they told us about how much we're going to be paying, and they gave us like forms to fill in to give into the bank, because now we're gonna get paid finally. Working 4 years as a nursing student and not getting paid, and actually you're doing the same work as the sister but you are not getting a cent, and finally we're gonna be getting something. So that is really something. And they told us about like the vacation leaves, basically they were telling us about the policies, what makes the hospital the best maternity hospital in South Africa, the procedures that they do. And they told us about like training that they have at the hospital, because as a nurse, if you want to better yourself, you do training to become or to specialize in whatever field you want to specialize in. And they also told us about like the bursaries that they have and the learnerships. Sorry about that, I live near the road, so you're gonna hear these things. And they also told us about staff relations, like the code of conduct, the disciplinary codes, and the unions that we might join. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be part of a union, because a union fights for you when you are like in a dispute or whatever. Like, they stand up for you basically. So basically the first day was all about learning about policies, procedures, what it means to be part of the Western Cape Health Department, like your responsibilities, because you not only as a nurse like in the hospital, but you're also something in the community, you understand? So they basically told us about our responsibilities. And day 2 was a bit chilled, not gonna lie. Day 2 was a bit chilled. We learned more about like the fields that we're in. Like, I, for instance, was told that I'm gonna be working in a neonatal ward where it's full of babies who are preterm. So basically I'm gonna be looking after them. I'm gonna be giving them their meds, and yeah, most of them are in ICU, intensive care unit. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking care of those babies. And they put an emphasis on the fact that they promote only breast milk, because they are a baby friendly hospital. So they don't promote what is this, formulas and all that. Breast milk is the best way to go, because it has all the nutrients the baby needs from birth till 6 months, and then only you can start giving the baby solids. But from birth to 6 months, breast milk is the best way to go. It has literally all the nutrients. When the baby is sick and then breastfeeds, the baby literally recovers because of the nutrients and the antibacterial factors that are in the breast. And yeah, so the second day we went on a hospital tour. They showed us around where we're gonna be working, like basically the whole hospital. And we met some of the staff who were very welcoming. Like, everyone, literally in every ward that we went to, everyone was telling us who they were and welcomed us with warm hands. It literally felt like a family, because one thing about the hospital I'm working at, it's very small, so everyone knows everyone, which is why they emphasize on them being a family, because they're quite a small group. And also they spoke about like the kangaroo care, where the baby's born, mostly like the prematures, they are put on their mommy's chest, like skin to skin, because of the warmth. And also it connects the mother and the child, because the baby was like inside and the only person that they knew was the mother. So now the baby will feel protected when the baby is here, skin to skin. And day 3, same thing, procedures, professionalism, ethical principles, personal development, job description. And yeah, so they really put an emphasis on policies, procedures, rules, job description, because we have to do things a certain way. You don't just do whatever you feel like doing, because you are taking care of lives, babies and mothers. So we have to do things a certain way. You don't just do whatever you feel like doing. And I learned that most of the things that I learned at the hospitals were not the correct way. In terms of hospitals are very busy, so you don't have time to do certain procedures from A to Z. You won't do everything according to the book when you're in the hospital, because there's a lot of people as long as you did whatever you did, it is that. But here they put an emphasis on doing things the right way, otherwise you get in trouble. So which is also why I chose this hospital, because I knew since it's the only maternity hospital, I'll have a lot of experience. And when you have the experience that you get from this maternity hospital, it is easier for you to get a job, because they know that this person is going to do the right things, because at that hospital they put an emphasis on doing things the right way, on following rules and doing all the right things. And then also we were taught about how to, obviously we know this because I mean I've been a student for what, nursing student for 4 years, but they still remind us of the importance of washing your hands before you touch the patient, after you touch the patient, when you are busy with like a procedure, or after you're done touching the patient's belongings or whatever that belongs to the patient, and after you leave the room of the patient. Like you constantly have to think of all those things. And the last day, which was the 4th day, we were taught about medication, the policies, scheduling, drugs that are kept in the drug lockers or cupboard, because those drugs, you count them in the morning, you count them at night before you leave, because those are drugs that are very addictive and they need to be locked away. Like they need to be constantly counted. Every time you take that drug and give it to a patient, you need to document. Like, and some medication some medication are kept in the fridge, and the fridge has to have a thermostat because it needs to be in a certain degree, and if it becomes hotter or really cold, then you can't use the medication because it's not gonna work as efficient as it's supposed to, you know, all those things. Like we were taught a lot, and at times I felt like, oh my word, this is so much information, and am I gonna be able to remember all of this? But they told us that we don't really have to stress, because we will go to the wards and the sisters there in the wards will tell us what to do and what not to do. Like they will basically supervise and show us around and all of that. So it was a great experience, because we got to familiarize ourselves with like the staff, with how everyone is. We were welcomed and everyone showed interest. Like when we were walking, people were just greeting, and you know, they were introducing themselves. And we also they told us about the uniform policy, and they're very not, I wouldn't say chilled, but they're very lenient when it comes to like the uniform, because some places don't want you to wear scrubs and they allow scrubs, but only like navy and maroon. And yeah, and even with hair, sometimes hair is it's a problem when it comes to nursing. Some hospitals don't want you to have like certain color hair, and they fine with whatever color hair you have, as long as it's like presentable. Obviously you wouldn't want to come with orange hair now to work. I mean, people are going to look at you, and obviously you don't want people to look at you. And this thing of hair, I never understood it, because as long as my hair is tied up, it's not going to interfere with the work that I'm doing. But I mean, different hospitals have different policies, and the hospital I'm working at, they're very chilled. Like they're chilled. Even the operational managers, they like ladies, they're looking good and they're looking smart, unlike some other places where they look like those nurses from 1912, you know. But all in all, I said I was gonna vlog, but I couldn't vlog because it's a hospital setting and we're not allowed to take videos. So I couldn't do that, which is why I decided to do a sit down and tell you guys how my day was. and I am going. We started on the 1st of Feb, which was Tuesday, and then went to work till Friday. So now it's the weekend, we're not working, and we're going to have like this, not necessarily orientation, because orientation was only 4 days, but we're going to have workshops for I think 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then after that we're going to be going to the ward where I'm going to be working for 3 months. Oh my goodness. But I know that I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna be literally like a sponge. I'm gonna soak in all the information, all the skills. Yeah, it's a new journey which I'm more than willing to be part of. I'm excited to be where I am. Nervous, anxious, scared, but grateful at the same time. So yeah, this is basically like an informative video for like how usually first days are at work. Some of my colleagues, like the people that I worked with, they told me that at their hospitals on the first day they were shown around obviously, and then they were taken to like the general wards, but not necessarily to where they're going to be working. So it's different for each hospital, but they told us that they're doing all this orientation because they want us to be comfortable when we go to the wards, which is why they're giving us in-service training, so that when we go to the ward we know what to expect and we don't, you know, we're not lost. The first time you go to a ward, you literally don't even know what to do. You don't know the schedule, not schedule, but you don't know the routine. So at least now that we have like these 3 weeks of in-service training, we're going to be learning about the things that they do at the wards or in the wards. So I'm excited. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. And bye.